received a phone call from Jonathan to indicate that he isn't able to be here for some health reasons. And so, on relatively short notice, amongst the other duties as assigned, this is one of those things. So this afternoon, I'm going to share with you a little bit of some reflections I have on your graduation and some encouragement that I'd like to share with you. I first of all want to say to our graduating class that we are proud of you. You've completed a variety of programs, both certificate and degree, and you've studied on our Winnipeg campus and through our extended learning network. Each of you has worked hard, you've sacrificed much, and you've achieved your goals during your time with us. You've earned the credentials you're going to receive this afternoon. Accept the accolades with pride and satisfaction because you've earned them. Now this afternoon I just want to take a few moments to share with you a few thoughts, a few of my thoughts about Booth University College and what your graduation today means to this institution. It was about 4 years ago, as this institution's name was changing from Booth College to Booth University College, that Chantel Burke and I were sitting in my office. Chantel was our Director of Admissions and at the time had responsibilities as well for communications. And we were sitting in my office trying to come up with a rather pithy saying that would capture the essence of Booth and communicate that very briefly to anyone who saw billboards or ads or heard radio ads or various things that we would use in our marketing campaign. We wanted an aphorism that would encapsulate the goals of this institution. We wanted something that would distinguish Booth from our other institutions in the neighborhood. At the time, some of our better-known institutions had come through a time when they ran campaigns that were very much focused on you. So the University of Winnipeg had a campaign U, Y-O-U of W. And Brandon University had a campaign Brandon U, Y-O-U, or B-U was how it went. And the University of Manitoba had one, U of More. And so as we sat in my office thinking about what we might describe, how we might describe Booth, we came to the conclusion that perhaps we needed something that got beyond you, and me for that matter, but something that talked about a larger purpose for the education we had. We had modest goals for ourselves and for our conversation. We simply wanted an expression that we could use in our upcoming marketing campaigns. Well, as we talked more and more that afternoon, we tossed out a number of possible slogans or taglines or brand promises, name them what you will. Some were rather hokey, others were a little too, pretentious, maybe bordering on self-focused. We wanted to find an expression that would say more about Booth, that would convey the vision we have for our students and for the institution. We wanted a saying that would be focused on outcomes, the outcomes toward which we strive. And as we worked through our conversation, at some point the expression, education for a better world, emerged. Almost immediately. We knew that we had a slogan, a tagline that would stick. But over the last 4 years, as we've used this expression, it's shaped the institution more than we ever would have imagined at the time. It's become more than a marketing slogan in the process. It's become, in a sense, our vision statement. Each time we unpack the meaning of education for a better world, the richness and the depth of that expression becomes more clear. So for that reason this afternoon, I want to share with you some of my recent reflections on education for a better world and what it means to Booth as an institution, but more importantly, what it means to you, our students, and our soon-to-be graduates. As a Christian university college, Booth's mission is shaped by the biblical realism, which acknowledges that the world, although created by God and therefore endowed with goodness and beauty, nevertheless is deeply troubled. Alongside the richness of this world and the dignity of human life, we find and we recognize that we live in a world that has in many ways fallen short of the glory for which it was created. Environmentally, socially, psychologically, and spiritually, this world is not what it was created to be. And yet we also affirm that God has not left the world alone to its own devices, but has chosen to embrace the world in its brokenness. God has chosen to bless it with God's ongoing providence and to redeem it through Jesus Christ. We affirm that we see this as a world in which an abundance of grace offers boundless potential for transformation. And having acknowledged this as one of the pillars, if not the central pillar, upon which Booth is founded, we might ask ourselves, how has this and how does it continue to be worked out? So let me suggest some things to you as our graduating class. First of all, we have wanted you as our students to see the beauty of the world in its complexity and in its simplicity. We hope that you've learned about the potential of a world rich in resources and rich in diversity and rich with the potential of human endeavor. We've wanted you to see the resilience of the human spirit in the face of challenges and the possibilities that open up when we couple this resilient human spirit with the inspiration of God's Spirit. In addition, we want you to be informed. We've wanted you to be informed about the challenges of life together on this planet. The challenges of an environment that's in deep distress. The challenges presented by societies and systems that are voracious in their appetite for more and more. The challenges of injustice, which springs from self-interest run rampant and from the dehumanization of our neighbors, and the challenges of the brokenness that mars the lives of too many, including ourselves. And so as an educational institution, we want you, our students, to explore and understand the world as it is, with its mix of splendor and violence, its mix of despair and hope, its intermingling of injustice and of deep longing to do better. Much of our work together has been an effort to expand our understanding beyond what we've always thought, known, or believed. Our hope is that as a result of your studies, you have a better, clearer understanding of the world as it is. But it seems to me important that as a Christian university college, it's imperative that we prepare you to do more than simply understand the world as it is. We've tried to teach you to look beyond what currently exists, beyond the constraints of the moment, whether they be constraints of self-interest or resources, constraints of will or power structure, constraints of any kind. We want you to be able to look beyond them to envision a better world. We hope we've prepared you not only to identify and understand the challenges of the present, but also to envision solutions for the future. Not only to explain why the world is the way it is, but also to work to make it better. Not only to comfort those who are suffering, but also to heal their wounds. And it's for this reason that Education for a Better World is a fitting vision statement for this institution. Our goal has been to facilitate your education so that you can live lives which are informed by disciplined minds, empowered by the skills you've developed, transformed by Christian faith, and inspired by a vision for a better world. A world in which shalom flourishes and all share in the bounty of the earth and of God's blessing. And then finally, we've sought to cultivate in you dispositions toward justice and shalom. The knowledge of the world as it is, the vision of the world as it could be, and the skills to be effective are critically important. But the mission of Booth is not simply the transfer of knowledge and the development of skills. These will be wasted if we fail to cultivate in you dispositions to act justly and faithfully. We hope that we've prepared you to be both able and willing to work hard to bring this better world near. Today marks an important transition, a passage, as it were, for you. There's a very real sense in which the integrity with which we as a faculty and staff embody this vision rests with you, our graduating class. We've done what we could to instruct, inform, and inspire you. Now, it's over to you. You see, the fulfillment of the mission of Booth University College is in large part beyond our control. It rests upon you, our graduating class. How you take what you've learned and how you use it will, in large measure, be the standard for assessing whether the investment in Booth University College is at all worthwhile. Think deeply. Think deeply. In a world that too often reduces complex issues to trite slogans. We want to encourage you to believe intensely in a world that longs for something in which to believe. We want to encourage you to become agents of hope in a world that too often is filled with despair. We want to encourage you to promote justice and, even more importantly, shalom, in a world in which too many live lives that are truncated by poverty and marginalization. And we want to encourage you to proclaim mercy in a world that too often is driven by a desire for revenge. There is a better world out there for the taking and for the making. There's a better world for the dreaming and the hoping. So once again I say to you, now it's over to you. We entrust this vision of a better world to you with confidence and with anticipation. And we as an institution will watch with excitement as you take this education and use it to make a better world. Congratulations on your achievements. May God bless you and may God inspire you.